about to crash out, so I'm taking a deep breath. This is going to be a loud and long one. So, buckle up, Puckabrewers. At the end of the film, he says it's not their fault, but it literally is, though. Even if when they turn the key and their mother dies, it's not the monkey who kills her, which seems to be what they're doing by the nature of this final reveal, which, side note, if that's what they're doing, if that's the case, they need to be a little more clear about that, because this is the point of contention between Hal and Bill, and I didn't really understand if this is what that reveal was supposed to be saying or not. But that's besides the point, because they are still responsible for every death that the monkey does. Okay, let's focus back up. This seems to be the idea of that they are doing. Hal gets 2 boxes of bananas dumped or thrown on him, and so he comes home, tells the monkey to kill his brother, turns the key, and their mother dies. The kids now think that the monkey is responsible for their death, and so they create a mythology around it. They think that the monkey is responsible for killing their mother, but actually, it was like life. It was just time for their mother to go. That is the mythology that is built. Hal is terrified of the monkey in adulthood, and we think that Bill is just as terrified. The problem is they spend way too long attempting to build the mythology around it, making it greater than life, instead of focusing on when it made it actually scary, the part where it was like life. The film seemingly wants to make a reflection on death and how to respond to it, and more importantly, how we should respond to it. Their mother literally says, everything is an accident or nothing is an accident. Either way, same thing. It's not if or even how, it's only when. Everybody dies and that's life. I'll die, you'll die. Come on, let's go dancing. But then it'll have these overly gruesome deaths that conflict with the very nature of the film as a whole. If you want to make a film about that, you can't have a line of bees fly into somebody's mouth for 2 straight minutes. You also can't have a plane crash after you've resolved the main tension of the entire film. You can't have this woman... You can't have this woman screaming as she runs across a field and her baby's on fire. Also, you can't kill a bus of cheerleaders after the main point is resolved. Why didn't she put out the fire on her baby? Oh. You also can't shift the blame to the monkey. Like, you turn the key. The monkey can't reach back there and turn the key himself. You're responsible for this. I'm sorry. You're responsible. Like, they can just hold on to the key on the monkey, and they did that for 28 years. Why didn't one of them just hold on to it? Oh, wait, sorry, my bad. They were trying to do that. There's no indication that it influences you to turn the key, so they could have just held on to it. There's no indication that it reminds you of anything but your dad, and also reminds this random dude of his dad too, but that's besides the point. The monkey is indicated to turn the key at once, except no, because that death is revealed to be eventually be his brother who did it, who was trying to kill his brother, and that he accidentally killed their mom, so he did what his brother did. How ironic, actually. Hold on. Like, listen, I know we're talking about a movie here called The Monkey, about a killer toy monkey who kills people, and the movie is telling me not to think about it, but by its nature of existing, it wants me to think about it. It is underlying themes of parental abandonment, what the nature of life is, how do we live with it. It deals with grief and loss and talks about death in a profound way, but has pieces of dialogue. It also has pieces of dialogue that by their very nature are asking me to think about it. Is there a divine plan? Sure, maybe. Call it a coin toss. Why, Annie? It could have been you or you. By its very nature, introducing this concept is asking me to think about it. You're asking me a question. Is there a divine plan? If not, you're telling me call it a coin toss. Like, you're asking me a question. You want me to answer said question? This is a test, and I'm answering the question now. I don't like to usually talk about writer's intent because I don't know anything about the writer. I don't know what their intent is by making this story. And more so, I think it just gets really messy when you do that. But I'll bring this up. This is very dismissive of your own writing. When you do something like this, it's very frustrating. You're taking what could be a fun thrill ride, and then you're turning it into a vehicle to comment on the nature of life, which is fine. I really like stories like that. But at the same time, you get scared that other people won't get it, so you change your mind. You tell others not to think about it. We gotta think who the director of this is. Oz Perkins. This dude made Long Legs, a man who, by the very nature of making things, makes movies that are stuffed with meaning and symbolism. I may not think that Long Legs is a good movie, but I can admit when I'm watching art and when I see art, and Long Legs is art. It's stuffed with meaning and symbolism that doesn't undercut itself. It is something real and palpable to say about the nature of parental neglect and the terrors and horrors that we have experiencing that, and also the mundanity that comes with parental neglect. We got to think who made the original story, one that I haven't read, and I might regret saying this because I don't really know how the story ends or begins or anything like that, and I'm really uneducated on it. But this was Stephen King, a man who everything that he's ever put out has been a reflection of himself to some degree, a reflection of culture, a reflection of politics, stuffed with heavy symbolism and meaning. A man who has said in the past that he loves his work and that sure, he makes different stuff now and he wouldn't make the same things that he was making now, but he wouldn't go back and change anything he has made in the past because there was intentionality in everything that he made in the past. The movie, unintentionally, is creating a narrative where people who watched it and thought about it too much and say it's bad because they thought about the logistics too much can be responded to by people who did like it by them just saying, hey, just don't think about it too much, which is so dumb because the filmmaker clearly wants you to think about it, man. The box that the monkey comes out of is literally subtitled like life. The monkey is literally a reflection of death. It's literally a reflection of life. Their mom talks about how you should live your life. She says this: take care of your teeth, take care of your gut, take care of your life. The worst you can do is try to force it. I don't know, man. Maybe this one is just too smart for me and I don't get it. I think it makes very little sense to me. See, that's how quickly you can undercut something. All I have to do is sow little doubt into your mind, and for the rest of the review, I can say, well, I'm the dumb one, and the movie is the smart one. I didn't know anything I was talking about. I was just giving my own personal opinion. It would make sense, and listen, this is my theory on everything. If the movie wanted to confuse me on if the monkey was really causing all those deaths, or if it was just like life. But you gotta return to the gruesome way that these people die. Some lady jumps into a pool and literally explodes. It's so cartoonish. The second to final death is thematic. Bill's death is set up. The monkey key is not turned, and then he dies. This was, I feel, the film's way of saying that all those deaths were just like life. But then a plane crashes out of nowhere. A woman runs by screaming that her baby is on fire and isn't doing anything about it. And then a bus full of cheerleaders dies for no reason. I don't know, it's a gag or something? You just undercut yourself. It's not that your movie means nothing and it's just a fun thrill ride. It's that your movie is trying to say something and it's failing and you're trying to hide that and it's worse. I feel like we get a lot of value out of art that is bad. I feel like some of the art that I have really enjoyed over the years has been not perfect, but perfectly flawed. That it means a lot to me as a result of saying something that I can identify with, not because it's good. There's a quote that I will quote 1,000,000 times over, and I'll never know who said it, but it goes like this. We often equate good art with meaningful art, and the other way around. It's not about how good it is, it's about what meaning you draw from it. I think that Oppenheimer is a good movie, but it doesn't mean anything to me. Want a movie that was just a fun thrill ride from this year? That doesn't pretend like it has something greater to say about life? That understands what it is and tries to be what it is? Hard Eyes. Why am I so mad? Oh wait, this is why. What frustrates me the most about this movie is that it got scared and second-guessed itself, or they decided that it wouldn't land. But let me present you this. Let's Go Dancing is a line at the end of the film and a callback to the beginning of the film. In the beginning moments, Lois uses it to distract her kids from the harsh and frankly too honest truth that she is telling her kids at the current moment. She is trying to prepare her kids for how cruel the world is going to be to them. Let's Go Dancing becomes symbolic for letting life breathe, living in the quieter moments, enjoying the little stuff. Because you don't get too many of those smaller and quieter moments in life when you're going through the harsh stuff. You're going to need those other moments to make it through. Throughout the film, there's this weird fixation on parental abandonment that frankly has a bit of nuance to it. Parents are just up and gone. We don't get a long scene that explains why they left or how the person feels. Kids don't ask too many questions until they're older and are forced to ask questions by the nature of being in school and being around others who have both parents, by the nature of doing a family tree that you can't complete because you know nothing about the other parent because they aren't there. This is what is causing the schism between Hal and his son. The inability to come to terms with why he left, where he went, and what was more important than him. It's why his son is so aggressive to him at times that feel a bit weird. But when you get to the hotel scene and you hear Hal say the words, "That's why I stay away, because I come with all sorts of baggage, stuff I got from my dad that I don't want to pass on to you," his son now knows the reason why he left. Hal understands why he left now. It's an interesting reason as well. A parent worried he is going to pass something down to his son from his parents. In this case, it's representative by a physical killer toy monkey. What great writing this is here. They reconcile in the next few scenes. Hal has to trust that his son can look at what kind of baggage he had gotten from his dad and allow his son to take on some of that baggage because he can't protect his son from it forever. If he is going to stay in his son's life, he can only help his son understand the baggage that he's passing on. His son, hopefully at least, isn't taking on all that baggage or helping his dad through that baggage, but helping him understand it better and choose to be a better dad as a result. At the end of the film, Hal says this: "We keep it close. We accept that it's ours. We hold on to it tight. It needs a little tuning, but it works. It's really well done. It has something substantive to say." So when Hal says, "Let's go dancing," not only is it an attempt to do what his mother did at the beginning of the film by distracting and teaching his life motto to his son, but it's also him allowing his son into his mind, to see his worldview, allowing his son to understand him more, to understand his grandmother more. It wraps up many arcs that it needs to, and it's so cathartic, but all that analysis doesn't matter because the movie is asking me not to think about it. This is starting to get long and like a rant that I can't stop about the nature of movies nowadays, so I really want to wrap it up. All that being said, the cinematography is alright, the editing was really good in the movie, some of the choices that were made here visually were really actually pretty great. Here's a compliment I can give the movie. The movie has some of the best uses of cross dissolves that I've ever seen. There is a dissolve from a laying down monkey to a kid that was freaking awesome. There's another one of a fire that's overlaying Bill that like puts us into the mindset of the character that's also awesome, except don't think about it. There are also some really great top-down shots that look really cool. I love the focal length on most of the shots. Really impressive work. Another really great thing was the effects. I think some of the practical and CGI mixes were really great and really impressive. When they went too far in one direction, it started to get a little uncanny and not looking good. Like the final kill, Bill, his like floppy CGI body or whatever CGI they did over the body didn't look too great. I felt like it lingered a little too long and the lighting that was chosen wasn't the best for the scene. Regardless of if I laughed because it was bad or if I laughed because it was really good, I laughed a lot during the film. It was very funny at times, and that's a huge compliment. And this one just, I don't know what happened. I can talk about Longlegs for a long extended period of time, but this one I just can't. I don't know. The movie's telling me not to think about it, I guess. So I won't. Thank you.